What's going on, common folk? Mm, 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 mm. Wait, wait a minute. Sorry. As we journey today, our venture is about sloths. But we need a little Hank. What do you think? Hank Jr. or Hank 3? We'll go with Hank 3. Ooh, okay. Alrighty. So, anyways, I have a fun podcast ready for today. It's gonna be good because it's about sloths. Yes. So they're slow. They got a very rapey vibe to them. I'm not saying they've raped anybody. I'm just saying the way they have this creepy smiles look like they've gone through whole life just constantly farting in crowded rooms and blaming somebody else for it and getting away with it. So you picture that smile that someone has like when they get away with something and the camera zooms into them and they have this diabolical little curl on their side of their cheeks or the dimples. That's basically what a sloth looks like, just in case you've never seen a sloth picture or anything before in your life. Like, I've never seen a real sloth, but they seem like they live pretty good lives. But they're very slow, but hey, they enjoy themselves. And you know what, some days I'm very slow. So if I'm if Buddhism is real and I come back as an animal and I come back as a sloth, I think I'd be all right with that. Okay, so we got some nice, fascinating facts because this is a factual, real news place. That's right. You heard it from me. Okay, this is completely 100% verified. Alrighty, so here we go. Sloths only poop once a week. They called the poop dance. Efficient. Efficient. I mean, sometimes I get on that pot once a morning, and that's when you have your thinking time and everything flows right for you. But if you do it once a week, I mean, they must be really living a stress-free life. Very probably curry-based diet. I would imagine. I wouldn't imagine actually. You wouldn't have to hold that in. You couldn't hold that in for a week. But like, well, so what? They just I don't know. The dance part's weird. I feel like it just falls out of them as they're hanging from a tree. Okay. They can swim 3 times faster than they can move on land. They can hold their breath for up to 40 minutes. Hey, that's pretty impressive. I mean, I tried to hold my breath for 1 minute once, only made it to 40 seconds. So 40 minutes, that's pretty good. That's really good. 40 minutes. They can swim 3 times faster than they can run. I can swim about 3 times slower than I can run. At least that's what I think. But I got fat and it floats, so I tend to just leisurely go where I'm going. You know what I mean? If I'm stranded at sea and I'm going in, I'm floating in, man. I'm going in, catch a few rays, swim a little, enjoy the beach, try not to get eaten by a shark, make it back to the beach. So I'm very leisurely swimmer there. The doggy paddle and the breaststroke and shit. I actually did do swimming classes, and I was on a swim team at this gymnastics place that had a pool, and it wasn't bad. And I did the one that Michael Phelps did, the badass, he's got his arms out all fucking long and lengthy, kind of goofy looking guy, but he's an Olympian. And I have yet to see an Olympian. Well, I mean, most of the women Olympians aren't goofy looking, but most of the guys Olympians are. I mean, like, even Usain Bolt's legs are too big for him, or too tall for him, and his torso's kind of small. But, I mean, he's the fastest guy in the world, so if you have to have 2 tall legs for you to run that, you know what, that's just how God made you. So I would know that I was told always I had very proportional legs, and I still don't know what that means. I'm kind of bothered by it, because it's like, that's what they notice about you. Oh, you have proportional legs. Well, my legs are big. Are you saying I'm big? That could lead to several different topics. But teachers, people, parents, relatives, friends of parents. Oh, your legs are very proportionate. Nurses, even chiropractors, and no one's ever stopped to think that maybe I don't know what my legs are proportionate means. They just tell me that, so I still don't know that, but that's okay. There are 3-toed sloths and 2-toed sloths, which is kind of weird, but you know what? They're sloths, they're not human beings, so they shouldn't have as many toes as we have. Let's see. 3-toed sloths are diurnal. Or diurnal. That looks like diarrhea, but it's not. Apparently, I think it means day. Because the 2-toed sloths are nocturnal. Okay. So apparently, if you have an odd number of feet, well, we have 10, so that doesn't really make sense, because that's even number. but yet so we're still during the day. There's night owls, but we mainly operate during the day, unless you consider Batman. But even Batman was out and about during the day, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, so you have, and then you have three-toed sloths during the day, then you have two-toed sloths at night. So it makes sense that a lot of even-toed animals are very nightly creatures, so that just makes sense there. Okay, so I get that. More than 50% of sloth deaths occur on their once-a-week trip to the ground to dig a hole and defecate. So once a week, they journey to the ground from high up in the tree as they hang there very calmly and very relaxedly and for very long periods of time. They go and they dig a hole and they shit in the ground. Okay? Assuming they dig the hole before they shit. Because why would you dig it after? I mean, if you're doing this big long dance. Is that why they dig a hole? Or are they just ashamed? It's probably their dance is probably just them shaking from keeping it in for so long. 2001, a two-toed sloth was discovered hanging under a field research team latrine, scooping up the mixture of feces. He was eating shit because he was hanging under the bathroom of some research team's camp. I mean, that's not very nice. So if I'm ever a sloth in another life, I'm going to move. Because hanging underneath the bathroom is kind of weird. That may be me, but that is weird. The ancient Greeks had a goddess for sloths and laziness, Agira. So, sloths are typically lazy, like some Americans. That's just how it works. That's alright. I mean, if we gave sloths motor scooters, they'd take over the world. So we'll just let them sit there and hang on their trees and eat shit from under, us. They can poop up to 30% of their body weight. Ooh, that is big. So if you get like a 100-pound sloth, they can poop about 30 pounds. Of course, then it's not 100 pounds anymore. It's 70 pounds, which is, I don't know, still pretty big for a sloth. I'm not sure what the average sloth weighs, but I'm sure fat. Sloth sex takes only 5 seconds. Everything else is slow, except for the one thing that you want to be slow as well. And it's fast. Now that sucks for them. Maybe take some Viagra or something. I don't know if that would do anything. Most sloths are outstandingly successful in their environments. They are given the least concern of extinction. So not only are they slow, they get busy quickly. They poop once a week. They usually only die when they go to poop. I guess that's a pretty elite, pretty elite sloth, I guess. I mean, they keep their stomach full because their diet is not very nutritious. Well, no shit, they're called sloths. Okay, not eating greens. They're taking deep fried garbage. Okay, I mean, if I was a sloth, I'd live it the same way. If I could get away with shitting once a week, living for a long time, and surviving very good and benefit in my environment, and I could get away with eating junk food for the rest of my life, would I do it? You're goddamn right I would do it. Jesus. What the hell's wrong with you? I mean, that's just thinking. Female sloths literally scream when they're ready to mate. Oh, that's... I'm ready! I'm ready! That doesn't sound romantic at all. The last ground sloth survived until 2700 BC in Cuba. How would they know that? It is before Christ. How would they know how long a ground sloth has survived? I wouldn't know. Okay. Well, their digestive system is slow, so it takes 30 days to digest one leaf. Hence the shitting once a week, apparently. I bet you they can get drunk off just smelling hooch. So I bet you, that's not even bad life right there. A few million years ago, they were aquatic sloths. Does he just float around on the water? I feel like that could be my spirit animal. An aquatic sloth right there. Okay? Mm-hmm. Man, just living, watching life go by, seeing sharks get, eaten by giant alligators that are like 40 feet tall because it's, a long time ago. So, interesting. Hmm. The Lestodon is an extinct species of ground sloth which grew up to 15 feet and could walk on 2 feet. Now that would be scary as fuck. Okay, a 15-foot sloth that can walk on its hind legs. I mean, it'd still be slow, but that would still be scary. I mean, you don't see very many two-legged, 15 feet tall creatures, do you? That's some real Sharknado type shit right there. Okay, that's some real stuff that you grab a shotgun. You know what? Maybe it's good that they're extinct because that's maybe that's what the Bigfoot's a legend started off. Just a giant sloth, of course. Sloths couldn't be as elusive as the Bigfoot, which is out there, or the Loch Ness. So they probably are extinct. But if we have evidence that they existed, yeah. Thomas Jefferson helped find the bones of the first ground sloth. Megalonyx in North America. Or Megalonyx North. That I did not know. Thomas Jefferson helped find a sloth. Thomas Jefferson helped find a sloth. Can you believe that shit? Freaking founding father, whatever the shit, okay? And he goes slothing, which is the verb of sloth hunting, by the way. And that's a word, 100%. You can use it on Scrabble or Words with Friends, I promise. Mm-hmm. Sloths go moldy in the rain season as a form of camouflage, but I think it's really just because they don't move fast enough and mold just grows because they're slow pieces of shit. So, I mean, they could say it's camouflage, and that could be just naturalists making excuses for them. But in the long run, the sloth is just, well, the sloth is just slow and lazy until moth grows. Man, if moth... Everybody always makes jokes about, oh, moving so slow, your ass is growing moss or humidity and stuff. But them sloths actually live that shit, man. That's a bit of a downfall, I have to say. I mean, pooping once a week I could be okay with. Slow, digesting, not really much of a tolerance for things. Fine, but I mean, growing mold, it's not even really a fashion choice at that point. That's just kind of a fucking A. Sloths have nipples in their armpits. Not sure why. That's kind of weird. I bet you they can't do an armpit fart without squirting some milk tape out. So I bet you that's uncomfortable and weird and awkward. So that's another down. So maybe I don't want to become a sloth. Can't outfit found. Let's see. Humans once found rhino-sized sloths about 10,000 years ago. Weird shit, man. Okay. Well, that is our ballad today about sloths. We'll get to next week and we'll talk more about codes and shit because I passed a codes guy and he was the biggest dick ever. Out spraying shit on the side of the road, expecting everybody to move over for him like an asshole. You know what I mean? I mean, just get rid of codes. You want to talk about that giant debt out there? I bet you we could get rid of some of that money. All right, if we got rid of codes. I mean, that's some bullshit. That is for next week. That's what I will leave you at. Thank y'all. Thank y'all kindly, and have a good day.